Hey everybody, on Tuesday on Facebook and on my Rumble channel, I did a video. It was from the North Shuswap. That video, a lot of people saw that video and there were a lot of comments. I read all the comments. So thank you to everybody who posted something and everybody who's engaging with what's going on. You can tell by all the comments, people are really worried and people are really concerned. I just want to tell you, I just got off the phone with a lady called Brenda who lives in Celista, and she told me her account of what happened to her over the last few days in dealing with this inferno that's been put upon people. She sounds like she's just been to hell and back and pretty obviously stressed out, but strong, like how people are. And so I'm going to play bits of that conversation. But the thing is, the people that posted that original video that I did with the man going, "What's going on? What's going on?"
Nobody seems to give a shit that we wanted to bring our equipment in. Everybody's asked for equipment. I got two trucks sitting over there that need pumps, and we got truckloads of pumps that tried to come out already, and they've been turned around. And they, in the fire department or whatever, force or whatever, they know it takes pump and water to put the freaking fire out, and they won't allow that stuff to come in here.
That was posted by the North Shuswap Kicker. And I've heard that the North Shuswap Kicker Facebook page has been taken down. Now, what the hell kind of world are you living in where the North Shuswap Kicker has been taken down? That's the threat? Like, come on. People just, somebody doesn't want you to know something, right? So I'm going to put the phone call that I took with this woman, Brenda. I'll put the whole thing on my Rumble channel and I'll try to put bits on Facebook, but I really don't want to bother with this being taken down. I'm going to put the whole thing on Rumble and put it up there. So please go to my Rumble channel, go to anitakrishna.com and click the Rumble channel. And you can go and watch it there. My job is to tell people stories that don't get told. So I'm doing that in the best way that I can. I don't send people to Rumble for views. I just want to be somewhere where I won't be censored. I don't want to see my work get removed. You know what I mean? So this you're gonna have to just set the scene for us a little bit. Okay, first of all, where do you live? First of all. Okay. You live in the North Shuswap. Okay.
Yep.
And that's
between Anglemont and Scotch Creek.
Oh, Scotch Creek. Okay. Now tell me something else. Scotch Creek, do you need a bridge to get to it?
There's three bridges coming in off of the highway number 1. The first bridge is cement.
Uh-huh.
The second bridge is the Clapity thing I call. It's fine. It's a little bridge, but we also can go around the mountain a little bit there if the bridge collapses when they've repaired it.
Right.
And then the next bridge is a steel wooden bridge, single lane bridge over top of a river.
Okay. And I heard that police were preventing people to cross the bridge to get supplies to, what's it called again? Scotts Creek?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is what happened
to
me.
Tell me.
We'll back up to Wednesday.
Okay.
We knew there was fire around us. We didn't know how bad it was. Thursday, I was at a neighbor's house, and I was getting a generator from him, and they lit the backfire, and he went white and started shaking. I said, "What's up?" He said, "My God, they shouldn't have did that. It was 14-mile or kilometer area. They lit up and backlit. So the sky turned red and overnight, and the plume of smoke was crazy." They knew from what we understood that was going to make an inferno coming my way, and they didn't tell anybody. I sent you the letter from the neighbors that went through worse than us.
Right.
So we go home from the neighbor's house that night. I'm up all night watching the skies. It's like looking at the sun with the flares. Then the next morning we get up. I sit up all night and we started going down the roads near us to see what was going on. We went down to where the day before fire was, and we stopped and talked to Bradley from Vancouver, a fire chief. He told us that everything was fine and under control. Go home and just stay there and relax. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then we ended up talking to the other fire chief, and we didn't get much more information at all that there was any danger we were in. They were trying to make us believe that the fire Backfire was fine. It wasn't fine. So my daughter and I come home. This is Friday morning, and we start packing. So no communication, no alert, no nothing is coming on our phone, but we figured we better get out of there. We called on Tuesday for livestock removal to get our animals off our property to go to another area, Turtle Valley, which was in danger as well, which wouldn't have been good.
Yeah.
So we come back to grab the horses, hoping to tie them on the back of our trailer with all that we can take out of here and bring them down with some food to the lake, which is about a 5-minute drive down the hill. They bolted and wouldn't come. So my daughter and I were hearing this roar like Niagara Falls, and we couldn't see much because of smoke, but the smoke had changed. It went from light orange, dark orange. I sent pictures, and then it cleared right up and the wind stopped.
Okay.
And we were like, everything's fine. Maybe we don't have to leave. And then it hit. The next thing hit with the horses. The horses panicked. And we looked across our property in different direction as we were trying to leave. And the mountain was all on fire behind us. We could see the smoldering smoke. So we thought we better leave. We're going down the road without the horses. I'm following my skid steer with hay, thinking we're going to come back and try and catch these horses. I don't want them to burn alive. And the fire chief here calls me. He asked me where I am. He says, do you see fire? And I said, yes. He said, run before you get burned alive. The fire is splitting around you.
Oh my God. But okay,
Come
but
back to the farm with the skid steer, drop it off. I didn't want to leave it in the road. And put it in the middle of the area. And then we get down to the bottom of the hill towards the lake, and the fire chief is there wincing down the school so that they don't burn this area. We head out. We had to seam our arm. Somebody misdirected us in the group, didn't know we needed to turn off. We ended up in Cold Spring, and we had to come all the way back to Lumbee. And then when we heard on Sunday they weren't letting people through, we came in and we said, we better get home right away. We got livestock, we got property. My neighbor called me and said they were on NASA satellite and our property was fine. We're not touched at all. Nothing is wrong on our property. But yet they've come on our property without even telling us to bulldoze a fire stop at the back of our property, which makes no sense at all. And the firemen are here, and it's the locals that have their trucks with water putting out the fires.
Well, okay. What do you see? Okay, first, let me get that story straight in my head about what you're describing. There was a back burn, and you thought your property was going to burn up, and there was no way you could get your horses to move. So you actually had to abandon your horses, thinking they could have been burned. Correct?
Yeah.
I got that right? Okay.
We didn't know if we could get off the property even because of the fire directly beside the road as we would leave.
And you, once again,
wrong the other way.
Once again, so I get these facts straight for the public, is that you, from what we all hear, you had no warning that this backburn was going to happen. You need to collect your livestock and go, and also no help collecting your livestock. Correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
No return phone calls whatsoever.
And also, sorry, is this close to Turtle Valley? This is kind of close. No. Okay.
That's about a half-hour drive.
Oh, okay. Because I had also read somewhere that somebody had donkeys or something up near Turtle Valley, and when the fire's coming, they can't move. Problem is, you cannot move the livestock. They get scared. So what do they want? They want to burn them alive. And so, to your knowledge, did this backburn accomplish anything? What were they doing a backburn?
It accelerated. And I have questions because I've had fires before on my livestock farm in Ontario, and everything around it burns. Everything close either melts or burns. And I'm watching RVs, which are garbage to me. They're just pieces of toilet paper pretty much. And everything around them's burnt except the RV. How is that possible? How is that possible? We're back in town Monday. We're looking for a generator. We need a bigger one to run our water. So we're going into town, and the police stop us and tell us we have to go to our property or they're going to arrest us. I said, for what? It's an evacuation order. You have to go. I said, there's nothing wrong here. There's no fire here. We're perfectly fine. And he says, no, you need to go back or you're going to be arrested. So we head back to the farm, and we stop the tow truck driver. He's behind us in the lineup, and we ask him for help for a generator. He says, call the local guy, and we found a generator, and he's shaking in the truck. He says, Brenda, the police are going to arrest me if I leave my property. I said, what do you mean? He says, I was going from my compound yard to my shop, and they told me they're going to arrest me if I leave my house again.
Oh my God.
Now, this is a guy that's certified. He's certified by the police.
He's a certified, what is he, a tow truck driver?
Yeah,
I'm lost.
he works
Okay.
for the police when there's all kinds of stuff going on.
Okay.
He's 75 years old. He's the salt of the community.
Oh, yeah. I've seen so many people like that salt of the earth type of guys. But why can you not leave your property? First of all, if your property is burning and you need access to water, like, do some of you guys have access to water? Like,
You're not, the fire hydrants aren't working.
I heard that.
Water from the creeks.
You're getting water from the creeks?
Yep. That's our only water supply out here right now.
You're like doing third world, getting a bucket and like third world collecting water from the creeks.
They've got pumps. They've got pumps.
Oh,
They've
okay.
got water totes to the back of their trucks.
Okay.
So these guys went into action pretty quick to get going. They're locals. We've had to smuggle things in across the lake. The police are guarding the ports at the lake here, so we can't bring in supplies.
And when you say you can't bring in supplies, what does that mean? You can't bring in food?
Food? No food, no nothing.
And what do the police say about that?
They're going to arrest you if you dock.
And why? What is the reason? Do they sit there and go, I'm following orders? Or what do they? Oh my God.
Yes, they're following orders, but listen to this then.
Okay.
If they're worried about looters, that's not happening here. There people are
nothing to loot.
Trying to survive.
Right. They're preventing you guys from bringing food into your town. Name some of the towns that are affected. Like Shuswap.
Celista.
Yeah.
Celista, Scott Creek, Lee Creek, Magna Bay. All of these areas are being patrolled. All of them are being patrolled right up to Seymour, St. Ives. It's all being patrolled. All the lake shore. They were able to get boats, and this is a closed lake. You don't get to here by the ocean. You have to get a boat here and put it in the water and put armed men in the water. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you need to travel by boat to some of these things, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
From us to visualize is a place called Blind Bay, and we're able to get in supplies very carefully. We went down to the lake to get supplies the other night, and the police were guarding, so they had another area to drop it off, and we got it back through some other people to us, the supplies. They're telling us at the SRD that no permits are going to be issued. I tried to apply for one.
Sorry, a permit for what?
To get out of here to get supplies.
Yeah, there's a friggin' inferno going on, and they're asking people to apply for a permit.
Which is deniable. Even if you have one, they're not letting you come in. So this is what happened the same day that talked to the tow truck driver. In front of me is a lightweight Telus truck. My daughter asked him what they're doing there. He's telling us he's going up to put fuel in the cell towers. Now, that's impossible. Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
The top of the mountains are all burnt down.
Oh.
Cannot be safe. They're lying to us. So the next thing we have, we don't get cell service here unless we're on Starlink, but we've had incredible cell service. Now the cell service is not working.
Oh,
it's very low.
Oh,
so
I see.
I do not believe he had 500 gallons of fuel. And why was he putting an accelerant at the top of a mountain near a cell tower? That's not true. He told my daughter he had to have a permit. So I jumped behind me to go talk to the CSRD people, and he told me he had to have a permit to come in there. And they tell me today when I call about the permits, they back up one more day. I call every day to find out about the permits.
Oh my God.
The lady answering the phone tells me there's something nefarious going on up there, and they're denying permits. You will not be able to get one in or coming out. And I said, well, why? We need parts. She said, unless you have a provable medical condition, you're not even going to be allowed out.
Oh my God. I don't even get the logic there. Like, because I can't really picture the chaos. You need to leave, come and go. Some people need to go on boats. You need to move about to get stuff you need. In order to move about, the authorities are telling you you need a permit. These permits are not being approved unless you have special medical conditions. No?
There's no permit for that. There's permit to be able to move back and forth. We're not allowed to go get gas. We're not allowed to go. They haven't opened the grocery stores up yet, but we don't need that stuff. But if you want to get fuel for your generator, it's being smuggled in. Being smuggled in for us. This is nothing like I've ever seen in my life, where we are under attack.
Yeah.
When you have a natural disaster, people come and help. And now the people at Blind Bay are afraid to help us because people out here are saying, don't help us. And I'm saying, don't stop helping us. It's not It's not a law. It's a bylaw. It's not a mandate. It's a bylaw.
Yeah.
And they're trying to enforce it. So CSRD today, when I called them on the phone, they tried to tell me BC Wildlife Services issue the permits. I've got it recorded. They do not issue the permits at all. The CSRD are the ones in control. They're the evil ones out here. We have wildlife and game people out here. What for? What for? They're not protecting anybody's deer or anything. There's nothing they can do. The animals are smarter than they are.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to Monday.
Mm-hmm.
We get in town late at night. We get to our farm. Tuesday was when we go out to the bridge, the one you asked at Scotch Creek.
Yeah.
We get to the bridge and the police are on the far side of it. And I'm thinking, well, that's kind of weird. Why aren't they on this side of it? So I go drive across and just on the edge of the bridge. And I said, can I ask you? I said, we need equipment supplies brought in. Can we get them in? He said, no. He tells us that the road, number one, between Chase and Sorrento, which are road T-bones to go out, is fire across both sides of it. You can't get in or can't get out. And I said, okay. And then he says, I can detain you and arrest you. And I said, for what? And he said, because you've crossed the line. I said, what line? There's no marking. There's no sign telling me anything. He says, I'm going to pretend you're invisible and you can leave.
Oh.
It's dark out because of the clouds, and he's got sunglasses on, and he's got some other security guard with him wearing a turban and a mask, not saying a word. So, like good little people, we back up across the bridge and we go back home. So he's trying to catch people coming across the bridge so they can escort them out of here. It's like a trap. It's a trap. It's not normal. Why would you trap us? And why are you guarding this bridge? There's no fire at the bridge. So the fire hall we were at yesterday, we overheard them telling the other people there was a fire at this bridge on the other side, and the police refused them entry to go fight the fire.
You know what? It shouldn't even be the residents fighting the fires. It should be the fire department helping fight the fires. I mean, residents can help too, because what else are you going to do? Stand around like a doofus, right? But so the residents are doing everything they can, but it seems like no water, can't do this, can't get supplies, can't get food, can't get this. Am I right about this? Like, this is a full on assault. And why would they be trapping you? Sorry, I don't get this. Are they trapping you within your own fire zone?
Yes, they are.
Oh.
Now, everything is burnt that we can see that's burnt. And I'm trying to get someone to get me a drone, and everybody's screaming on the other side of the lake that you can't do that. That's why they're not sending help. They only came out yesterday afternoon with surveillance helicopters and a couple bucket brigades to make them look good. So they're surveying the area with these black helicopters, no marking, and there's other helicopters with looks like a what would you call it? Not a bomb, but a tube, and it's beside it. And they're saying, "Oh, that's a gurney." It's like, no, black helicopters don't have your. Yes, about a 12-inch circle. I don't know what they're surveying for here. I want a drone to go up to see what's going on, because there's mountains and trees that you cannot believe how big they are.
Okay.
What is the
logical, sorry, Brenda, what is the logical reason they're telling you why you need to stay trapped? Like, what do they say? Can you see any logic to this? Like, what are they like, oh no, it's not safe for you to leave, so you stay and burn? Like, what are they? I don't understand how
They just told us the evacuation order told them that we have to stay on our properties and our houses. And if we're seen again, they're going to arrest us.
And so the private citizens, residents of British Columbia, will be arrested if they try to leave their house in a fire zone. This is the gist of it. And the authorities, the police and the whoever, and these mass security people or whoever are enforcing this. Meanwhile, you have nothing with which to fight the fires.
Yes, nothing at all. And the other thing is is a helicopter? It's a car. And there's no helicopters here today. So they haven't shown up since Friday. They all left on Friday when the inferno was hitting us. And they told us, and I can't verify this, that the temporary place where the firefighters were at, which is near the Squalex Engelmont Bridge, the old airport, all burnt up. I find that really hard to believe, and that's why they had to leave. So we were left in an inferno on Friday with zero help.
Oh my God. And
we can't find any information out. So Friday morning, I called the CSRD, and I talked to a woman there, and she told me to get out of there now. I said, what's the report? And she says, we don't have a report. This is like 8:00 in the morning. No reports. We didn't know it was this bad. We were lied to. We didn't know it was this bad.
You did,
Friday,
yeah.
my daughter Jenna.
Yeah. And do you feel like this?
Friday we were talking
Yeah.
to a person, a firefighter that was just up the hill. He was from North Vancouver, but he was fighting here. He gave the instructions that everything is not too bad. They've contained it. He told us this was at like 10 o'clock in the morning, but he said just make sure you're prepared. But everything's fine. He said. As 1 o'clock come, Mom and I went home after that, and then started packing lightly, slowly, just to make sure because it was getting worse. By 1 o'clock. We seen the fire over the one mountain, blaring kind of idea. By 2 o'clock, you could hear the roar kind of idea, like that, like thunder was coming kind of idea of fire.
Yeah.
And then that's when at 3 o'clock, Mom called the fire chief guy, and he says, "Get out of there with your lives if you can." But there was no order saying get out immediately. Alertable didn't work.
Oh.
So they lied to us. I don't know if they were trying to kill us, or I'm wondering if the local fire people were given bad information.
Perhaps. I mean, you know what? As they disseminate information, sometimes that's compromised, as I have come to learn, so sometimes one hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing, and the chaos is caused on purpose. Now, I want to ask just 2 more questions. What do you know about Blind Bay? I heard an independent photographer went there and was trying to take some pictures, and authorities told him not to take pictures. And I watched our my former news coverage yesterday, and they did such a saccharine report on, hey, people can go back home, and boys, the feel-good stories of whose houses were saved. They hardly touched on all this chaos. They never talked about fire hydrants and police stopping people or anything like that. But what is one message you want to get out there right now today?
So one of the things I told another relative about, they turned the water off, and he came back and said to me, they did that because there was so many houses burned. They turned the water off way before the fire came, and then they tried to claim the pumps were burnt out.
Oh, I've even heard the fire hydrants were turned off, because I've seen that. So this is the mess we're in, and you guys are like in a war. Like a harsh war.
But the point is, we need to get the truth out. This isn't just us. They were trying to burn it all the way to Salmon Arm.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Blind Bay residents are being blocked in.
Yeah.
Sorrento's still on fire behind there.
Oh, okay. I tried to do something with someone in Sorrento, but I couldn't get any connection.
Where we live in a beautiful, picturesque area with trees and a lake, and everybody's built in these little houses in between the trees because it's so beautiful. It's breathtaking. If you go to Seymour Arm, there are trees that are 300-400 feet tall, 4 to 6 feet trunks. Nothing that we have here. It's like walking into a Jurassic Park movie. Absolutely gorgeous and green.
Yeah.
I don't know what they want with this area, because we're a bunch of nobodies. Unless there's mineral rich assets or something in the property here, we don't know.
Okay.
We have no idea what they're looking for, but why bother us here except to push us to a 15-minute city? To be revealed, Anita, I think people need to know what we're doing here. We're not leaving our property, and I can tell you, I'm not suicidal, and I'm not going to shoot myself or any of those things. I can tell you, we're pretty sane people. We're standing our ground. We're staying here. We're going to try and help our environment, help our neighbors, help our friends. We've got new friends, people that you just they're giving their heart and soul to help us. And we want to do that back to our community. It's going to build a strong community, but it's making awareness, Anita. Awareness. People don't believe this is actually happening in Canada.